folks, welcome to another edition of Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer. I'm going to be your host today, and I have a special co-host, Haley Westrich. Haley, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
So this may be your last time. We're not for sure yet.
It could be. I'm not 100% sure.
So if it is your last time, it was good to have you back for the couple sessions that we've had. And who's our guest today?
We've got Paige Lee with us from the Branson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater.
So first time Paige has been on the show. First time I think we've had anybody from that venue on our show.
Yeah.
So it's an interactive experience, and so we'll learn more about that as Paige comes on the show. But here, you know, the last couple episodes we've just mentioned, hey, if you're healthy, come to Branson. But we really haven't talked a lot about the coronavirus. And this is, we're not health experts, right?
Nope.
So we're not going to talk a lot about that. But I think for those of us in the tourism industry, it affected the tourism industry dramatically in Branson, but around everywhere. And folks, if we want to sustain travel, you have to travel, because if people don't travel, these businesses will shut up and go away, and it will hurt the overall economy.
Right.
And I think there's a couple things. I don't think people realized how impactful travel is in the country for the economy.
For sure.
And so, you know, life is about risk. And I always say, every time you get in a car, you're taking a risk. Okay, someone could hit you. You don't know.
Right.
But you still get in the car, right? And so, at some point, you have to determine your risk level. And are you willing to just go on and live life, or are you going to stay in fear and live in your house and not get out? Now, there are some people medically that need to do that.
Sure.
Okay, we're not discounting them, but don't pay attention to the news media all the time, because you will live in fear.
Right. And there's ways to get out safely and, you know, still be cautious. And
that's right. So that's our little tidbit on coronavirus. So if you haven't planned your vacation and you're healthy, do it. Get out there, help the economy, help our entertainers, help the people that work the front lines, because they need you to keep going.
Absolutely.
So that's our little promo on coronavirus. We'll be back in just a second with more. Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson, and today we have Paige Lee on the show. And Paige, welcome to the show. This is your first time here, and you are a performer at the Branson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, and we're going to talk a lot about that. But we got to always go way back and understand your history and how you got into this business and all your past.
Sure. Well, I've always acted, I've been a singer, a dancer, but this is actually, for me, the first time that I've done it professionally and been paid for it. It's always been just a joy of mine, and in fact, it's not even my background as far as education goes. My background is actually in interior design, so I've designed buildings, kitchens, all kinds of stuff like that, but got into it when I got here, and it is absolutely just an amazing passion for me. We have a really good time.
So did you move here to Branson to be an entertainer?
I did not. I actually moved here from Hawaii, and when I moved here, I didn't actually know what all I was going to get into, and in fact, when I stepped off of the airplane, I had never even been in Missouri in my life. Like, practically I hadn't been in the middle of the country, and this place has literally received me. People are so friendly. It's a really amazing place, and so honestly, God just opened up an opportunity for me.
Okay, and so when you were in Hawaii and other places, you were doing interior design work, right? Interior design.
I did. Yep, I did design work. I also actually worked with special needs kids in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. So even before that, you brought up some Nashville history. So tell us about that.
I do, yeah. So I always kind of call Nashville as my home, which I did. I owned a studio there, and I did some singing, did some background singing work and vocals and stuff like that. And I did some dance at some studios there. And then I started my whole career in Nashville. So that's why I kind of call it home, because I kind of grew up there like as more of an adult. But as a kid, I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
And so how long have you been here in Branson now?
Only 2.5 years so far.
So you're considered a newbie.
I am, because people tell you directions. They're like, oh, you know where the old whatever is? And I'm like, no, I don't. I've been here 2.5 years. I can't find anything.
That is funny.
At least Google doesn't tell it that to me that way.
So when you came here, did you even know like it was an entertainment town? Like,
I did only literally like the week before I moved here with some just some searches online, and it was kind of like it was family little Vegas kind of was kind of how it was explained to me, that it was all for family. It was the safe place where you can go, shows, dinners, fun, adventures. So it was really just a surprise to me to get here that it happened to be exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by like how people get here and what their perception is before, and then how it changes like after.
Yeah.
So
many people vacationed here like as a kid their whole life, and then they end up moving here, retiring here, and I mean, growing up, I had never heard of it. Now I had been, because of the area I grew up, I had been to like Dollywood and those kind of places before, but Branson's great. Branson's a good place.
So what have been your favorite parts about Branson? Have you gotten to do anything fun, shows, attractions?
Yeah, you know what? With my schedule so busy, I actually haven't gotten to go to nearly as many shows as I've wanted to. But I went to the Hamner one. That was super fun. And of course, Dollywood or.
Silver Dollar City?
Not yet, but
Dolly Stampede.
Dolly Stampede.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one can say the name now because they changed the name.
I know, since it changed. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know how to say that name.
For those of you that may not know, it used to be called Dixie Stampede, and so now everybody is like Dolly Parton Stampede.
That's right. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, names change, but sometimes it's hard to change the memory and what you're used to saying.
It's a good time either way. It's really fun.
It's kind of like my kids. I'll go through the lineup and they're trying to get their name, and I'm like, just wait until you have kids. You're going to do the same thing.
You with the brown hair.
Oh, goodness.
So did you go to school like when you were in school? Did you take classes like acting classes or drama classes or anything like that?
I feel like you're supposed to say yes, and I did all of these choral productions and whatever, and I totally really didn't.
Okay.
It's just been for me just a fun open door place that it's just opened up for me. I wasn't like choral things. I was in some, like in high school and stuff like that. I was in different plays and things like that, but it was not courses that I took as classes. I've just always kind of been real dramatic and had a flair and enjoyed being in front of people, and mainly to me the main thing is just spreading joy with people. And that is one of the big things that our show does, is just bringing everybody a free place to kind of drop your worries, everything that's going on in life, and laugh and just have joy. And that's kind of the direction of everything for me, and why I do what I do.
I think that's a great place to stop. We'll be back in just a second. Now, we're going to hear a lot more about your character and then this Branson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. And so you don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute.
We are family.
We have theaters in Branson, Missouri, Mesa, Arizona, and also we tour.
What would it be like to grow up on stage? To spend the majority of your time working with your family? Dancing. Comedy. Great music through the Duttons' 30-year performing career. This just may be the most real, the most interesting, and the most
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. I am here today with Paige Lee from the Branson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater.
So Paige, tell us about your character and about the show, what people can expect.
Oh my goodness. Okay, first off, it's probably going to not be what you're expecting. So we are we have improv pretty much throughout the whole thing. It is a lot of wild fun. My character, her name is Isabel Ringen. And so she has big red hair. And everything about her is pretty much big. Okay, this character, she is a millionaire, but accidentally, which is kind of everything about her is like accidental. She has a little bit of a boy crazy issue, but her heart belongs to just one man, Marshall Bin Laden. So that's kind of a little bit of what goes on there. We do have about 11-ish different interactive audience member participation parts. So that's always kind of like a surprise when people come in. They're like, oh, and then some people get nervous. You know, they're like, I don't want to do it. Don't worry, you're not normally voluntold. Normally you can volunteer first.
Okay.
We normally have people volunteer. But it gets wild because it's so funny. As soon as you hand a mic to somebody that didn't know they were going to have one, it gets a little wild.
So that's what could make the show always different.
And that's the thing. You're right. It is always different. And so while there is a direction of the show, of course, there's a lot of ad-libbing that happens, and it goes a lot of different directions. So it makes it fun for the actors too. I mean, we're always changing things up and kind of going with the flow, and oops, we didn't know that was happening, and then that's when like the absolute beauty happens. So it's a good time. You do also, since it is a murder mystery, you do get to, as a participant, guess who is the murderer, and there are prizes at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what's the percentage of people that normally get it right? Or do you know?
You know what? No, because it depends. Like, because we have so many people. I mean, that are there. Our theater, it's the way it's laid out is really cool, and we kind of our stage is across like the whole front of it, and so we're around, kind of running in through the tables and around and everything. It's more of an intimate size because we max out at about like maybe 250 or so. Mm-hmm. And so when we run around and everything. Trying to get all those answers real quick, but for the mystery, who they're choosing, who is the murderer, I don't think they've ever gone through like every single one and counted.
Yeah,
It's just like trying to pick one.
So somebody does die.
Somebody does die.
Okay.
Yes.
And so they get a meal as well.
They do. We have a fabulous buffet. So we have some really great tender chicken. It's this baked chicken that I love. And then we have mashed potatoes. We got mac and cheese. We got a full salad bar. We have different kinds of meatloaf and cobbler, all this stuff that Granny made. It's really good stuff. And it's all you can eat, which is also nice.
Also, all you can eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Mm-hmm. So it's at the Majestic, I mean, what do you call that building? The Majestic
It's
Theater?
the Majestic Theater, and people
Okay.
normally say, you know where Majestic Steaks used to be because we're in Branson, and everything's where it was before.
Right. So at one time it was the largest restaurant in the state of Missouri.
Really?
And for those of you that kind of know, it's Gretna Road and Roarock Valley Road come together, and they took that restaurant and they've kind of, because it was so big, there's actually a couple of theaters in there now. And so you guys, I think when you come in, the front doors, you're on the left side.
Correct.
And so you got a big old, I'd say like a saloon bar kind of feel
It
in some
is.
respects, but then there's like a stage there too.
Yes, it's set in like 1890s is
Yes.
kind of the idea. So we're going back in time, and there's a lot of really cool Branson history mixed in with it because our producer, when she wrote it, she really loves the history aspect as well. So we're kind of teaching as we go along, so you kind of get a little bit about Branson history while you're learning and hooping and hollering. We also have guns that everybody shoots.
Okay.
They're not loaded. They're
not
not
loaded.
real. Your children will be fine. It's super family friendly.
Okay.
So what particular days do you guys have shows and the times?
We are Tuesday, Wednesdays, Friday, Saturdays, and so everybody needs to get there about 3:30. We're in a niche spot because we start serving dinner at 4 o'clock. So it's a little bit of an early dinner, and what works out really nicely about that, then we start the show about 5 o'clock. By about 6:45, you're done, you've eaten, you've had a great time, and you can still even catch a late show.
Late show. So you've,
Yeah.
you've positioned this strategically where someone can eat, see a show, and then go to another show.
Definitely, and
Yeah.
that's what most of our patrons do. It's a really good niche.
Well, here's the thing, and no one ever thinks about this, but if people come from other time zones, like if you come from the East Coast, that might just be normal eating. I mean,
Well,
like
sure, yeah.
it just depends. So and on vacation you can eat whenever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat at the same time every night.
You can have ice cream for breakfast in Branson.
Because vacation calories don't count, right?
That's right.
right, they
That's
don't.
what I always say. Vacation calories don't count. I went on vacation. Well, when we're filming this, it was a week ago, right? And I got on the scale when I got back, and I was like, "Oh my!" And now they're almost all gone. I'm back to almost normal. So, how many cast members are that aren't the audience in the show?
Well, actually, that's unique too because we only have 4 cast members, and we literally do everything. We actually do all the serving and everything as well. So there's my character, Isabel Ringing. There is Festus, who is he's the deputy that's kind of dim-witted and silly, but super lovable. There's, as I've mentioned before, Marshall Bin Laden, who I just love. And he is, he's the marshal in town. He's the one with the respect and the power, and he's the one trying to keep everything in control. There is Hawkins, which is also a deputy that's trying to always do the right thing and get Marshall to recognize him and everything and take care of him, take it under control when Marshall's not around. And then there is Sadie, which she's just the other female character in there that is Marshall's niece. And so she kind of adds into a lot of unique relationships that happen on stage.
Now, this Branson Murder Mystery has been going for quite a while. Do you know how long it's been in town?
You know what? I believe it's been about 6 years or so. Yeah. So, I've been with the cast for just for 2 seasons, being regular season and then the Christmas season.
Okay. Yep. So I know it's been here around for a while. So, folks, be sure to go check out Branson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater at
The Majestic Steaks Theater.
I'm not sure steak's in it now, but it sounded good. Still
We
says it
serve
on the sign.
chicken.
They serve chicken.
You'll have a good time either way.
And get there at
At 3:30.
3:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do
And
it
so,
earlier.
folks, this has been a special edition of Play Branson with Paige Lee. First time she's been on the show. Paige, it was good to have you.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
look
you for
forward to
having me.
to going to see Isabel.
Oh, yes.
Can you give us just a little bit more of Isabel?
Well, sure. I mean, I'd love for y'all to come see me. You're going to have a great time because I'll be there.
We'll be back in just a minute.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Welcome back to Play Branson. We're wrapping up the show today, and Paige Lee was pretty crazy.
She was so much fun.
Yeah, and she did that kind of spontaneously
She
for us.
did, yes. Thankful to have her on their show today.
Yeah, so we're glad that she was able to come out, and I think people will have a crazy time
I
at
think
that
so.
show.
I'm excited to go see it.
So here's the deal. I can't tell people who's going to be on the next episode because I don't know.
It's a mystery.
So it's a mystery show, and so you'll have to watch next week.
Yes.
But we'll figure it out. And here's the deal, folks. If there's an entertainer that you want to see on the show, go to facebook.com/Play Branson and send us a message. and we will do our best to try and get that person on the show. And if you have other ideas for us, we'd love to hear it. We appreciate all the feedback. We appreciate all the encouragement you guys do give us, because we know you like to get to know the Branson's entertainers better. And so once again, go to facebook.com/Play Branson. We also have a magazine out called Play Branson, a new edition. The Duttons are on the front of it. Awesome magazine, tells you everything to do in Branson. We have the website. Did I mention that already? I did.
I think so. Yeah, we've got Instagram.
We're on YouTube. So whatever social media channel you like, you can normally follow us on those social media channels. So
Absolutely.
anyway, we'll be back next week on Play Branson. Oh, be sure to go to ibranson.com or call those folks at 877-ENTERTAIN if you need help planning your vacation. And I almost forgot about that, but that's the most important thing, is people planning your vacation, come to Branson.
Come see us.